So, as previously stated in my WB video, we were doing hurricane prep. Well, literally while I was finishing up doing my makeup, I started hearing rain pretty hard. So yeah, the wind's going. So we have officially entered the hurricane. Let's talk about the UPN. Our second leg, leg number 2, episode 3. I. So remember everything I said during the WB video, which you can probably put up in the doobly-doobly-doo. Remember all those things? Literally copy and paste it, make it about 3% less successful, and it's the WB. But we'll get into more detail. We'll talk more about it. So, the United Paramount Network launching under the same conditions as the WB following the fall of Sinfin in January 1995. History. So, Paramount is like a big old Hollywood TV and movie company. Paramount Pictures, old Hollywood, think about it. They had the lovely Star Trek, and they're like, damn, and then they get bought out by Viacom sometime in between old Hollywood and now. Viacom is like, cool, we are gonna buy you out and we're gonna launch some syndication networks so that we can make some money off these old properties. So they're like, boop, 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 new Star Wars series. So these are the shows that launch on UPN's, like, syndication, local news. You know, again, these channels are only launching, like, new stuff to watch that isn't, like, soaps and old shows in the evenings to make money. So the shows are E.T. Entertainment Tonight. It airs first by many affiliates. I know that obviously it's not on my like CW and CBS channels. Entertainment Tonight airs after our local news at 5. But you know, it does public interest. It's a news channel that does public interest stories. And then they had the Arsenio Hall show airing from January 1989 to May of 1994. It ended up producing a lot of black icons of the 90s. All thanks to the Joan Rivers show being pulled, because as much as we love to say how much old comedy was great, Joan Rivers was a rotted old bitch, even in her semi-youth. And she could not stop herself from saying horribly offensive things. She gets pulled. We also had Friday the 13th, the series, War of the Worlds, Star Trek The Next Generation. We love Next Generation in this household. And Star Trek Deep Space Nine. We also love Star Trek Deep Space Nine in this household. So these shows were CBS shows that would air on these affiliates. But they saw success with this and they're like, let's make a whole network. In 1993, they moved to a 2-hour block, primetime block, a week, where these shows would be shown. And then soon after the WB would announce their company moving into this market, they would also announce it. So January 1995, they launched with Star Trek Voyager 2-hour premiere. We, again, love Star Trek in this house. They have this like big 2-hour pilot that would end up gathering 21.3 million viewers. They would literally never reach this high again. They will never be as successful as their big slap into the earth entrance. So our starting lineup for UPN, the United Paramount Network, is Star Trek Voyager, airing from 1995 to May 2001, lasting 7 seasons. It is the fifth Star Trek series. We have our second show, Platypus Man. Go off, Queen. Platypus Man is a sitcom airing from January 1995 to May 1995. Not successful. It was bad. Starring Richard Denny. And follows a really long-standing bit about men and manly things and then unmanly things. And like, it's a men's cooking show. It was unsuccessful and would conclude in July of 1995. Pigsty, a 13-episode run sitcom. 5 male roommates in New York with a female superintendent. Imagine, essentially that. It is the proto that, but it goes nowhere. No one loves it. Nowhere Man, a mystery series, fiction thriller. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Nowhere Man. Nowhere Man, a mystery science fiction thriller airing from August 1995 to May 1996. It was seen as cool, but only lasted about 1 season. A man finds that he has been erased. No one knows him and thinks that it's just because he took a picture of a U.S. soldier. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, alright. So Nowhere Man, as I just explained, is like fucking buck. I wish I could have seen it. Essentially, this guy gets erased. No one knows who he is. His wife doesn't know who he is. None of his neighbors know who he is. It's not even like the government faked his own death. They just removed him. He's like, oh, it's because I took a picture of a U.S. soldier doing some war crimes, because he's a photojournalist. He was hanging man. The U.S. soldiers were hanging some men in South America. But what? There's a twist after this like season. Turns out he's like a super sleeper agent with, essentially he had planted memories and then they were unimplanted. And then in the final, they don't explain any of this until the final when he finally gets like caught up. And it feels like it's a cop-out, but the show is canned. And honestly, I think a show in 1995 being like an American soldier did some fucked up shit and then we murk the press for it is probably just a little bit too much for the American government. So then we have Marker, which ran from January to May 1995. He collects an inheritance. This guy's dad dies and finds that his entire inheritance is being held by his stepmom unless he can find all the markers on the island of Hawaii where his father's resort is. And he has to go around finding maker tokens. Maker or marker, who knows. Yeah. Don't harass the island and residents of Hawaii for your white man bullshit. Legend, April 1995 to August 1995. A sci-fi western somehow... Okay, so somehow this little bitch baby man gets mistaken as his own novel character. Somehow he ends up in the past. It's a whole thing, time travel. It's wild. Megan of the Past says to read the wiki. It would have been really funky, fresh, and sexy if I literally hadn't just closed out every tab I had in relation to, because I was scared because my laptop kept making sounds like a jet plane because I had 117. Ernest Pratt, a gambling, womanizing, cowardly, hard-drinking writer, has created a dashing literary hero, Nicodemus Legend, the main character in a series of wildly imaginative dime novels set in the Untamed West. Because Pratt writes the novels in the first person and has posed as Legend for the cover art, many readers believe that Pratt is Nicodemus. In the pilot episode, when Pratt learns that Nicodemus Legend has been impersonated and a warrant is issued for his arrest, he travels to the scene of the incident to clear the name of his protagonist. Pratt meets up with the impersonator, a great admirer of his tales, the eccentric European scientist Janos Bartok, a Nikola Tesla analog who has been Thomas Edison's research partner, and his brilliant assistants Oh my god. I might actually have Google say that one for me. HUITZILOPOCHTLI Ramos. Deal with that in the past. In the future, who has taken every single course Harvard University has to offer. Bartok borrowed the legend persona in order to help the townspeople of Sheridan, Colorado. They enlist the reluctant Pratt to their cause and show him how their scientific expertise and outlandish inventions, frequently based on the ideas from Pratt's books, can bolster the impression that Pratt really is Nicodemus' legend. Suffering from writer's block under pressure from his publishers and inspired in spite of himself at the thought of doing real good, Pratt reluctantly agrees to assume the persona of his literary creation and to live as the imagined character of an adventurous, heroic man. Together they adventure throughout the West, solving mysteries, capturing wrongdoers, and making scientific discoveries. Weird. Next show. The Sentinel, an action crime drama running from March 1996 to May 1999 for 4 seasons. Jim Ellison uses his PTSD, because that's truly what it is. It's wild. This one I actually remember a lot. Essentially this guy has like super duper PTSD, and then a white woman, Riki, is like, this super PTSD is actually something that you can use to protect the natives in Washington state. Because apparently these natives can't do it themselves. They need you, white man, and me, white woman, Riki, to come and do this thing. Yeah. So he ends up being under the official title of the detective in a major crime unit, and he is the sentinel of this Washington state native tribe. It's, white savior complexes. How many white savior shows do we have here? I think we have, oh my god, we have Nowhere Man, Maker, Legend, and Sentinel are all, I would say, white savior complex shows. Next show, Moesha, airing from January 1996 to May 2001, follows Brandy Norwood, the vocal Bible, as Moesha in high school. It was a mid-season replacement picked up from CBS and was a success, running for the season, and then it went on to have a lifetime of just like all sorts of shit. With Moesha, we launch the Moesha, I know it has a name. Oh my god, the Brock Hill universe. I will be covering the show. So all of these shows fucking sucked, and like, it was bad. So everything was bad except for Moesha, and most of them will be, removed. So UPN, in its first 5 years of operation, loses $800 million. It is not, like, WB wasn't doing great ever, but this was doing terrible. Okay, I have another voice note to read to you. It is it is about the secret life, the secret glory of Desmond Pfeiffer. I can't even begin to understand what literally anyone involved in this were thinking. Like, what was T? Okay. Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer. A sitcom set during the Civil War. Who thought that was a good idea? That's centered on a black English nobleman who became the valet of Abraham Lincoln. Why is it a sitcom? Even before its premiere, the series was riddled by controversy and protest by several African American activist groups, including the LA chapter of the NAACP, who picketed outside of Paramount Studios 1 week before the originally scheduled pilot episode, and some advertisers for its perceived lighthearted take on African American slavery. Ah!
Go off, girl.
Protested against the premise of the series, despite what publicity doesn't receive its controversial topicality, and the series suffered from low ratings within the first episode, placing 116th out of 125 programs that aired that week. It was canceled after 4 episodes.
Yeah. So, the show sucked. Like, it only ran for 4 episodes. It was a total bomb. I don't know how you fail any worse than that. So, these shows sucked, and then there's Star Trek and Moesha that were only there. So, we are now moving into our Viacom era, as they were bought out previously. So after the buyout, Chris Kraft, Viacom, and CBS owned all of UPN. Then they changed the name from Universal Paramount Network to just the UPN. They then tried for a Paramount Network, which, if you know, the channel Spike is now Paramount Network on cable television. So they tried their best. But they wouldn't come for another 19-ish years. Affiliates did not get down with this, with all the rebranding. They were not chill about it. In 2001, the UPN outbids the WB for the Buffy IP and for Roswell, which is how they end up going over there. They win and gain the last season of those shows on their channels. UPN would buckle under the control of CBS instead of Paramount in 2002. Breathing in, UPN would then essentially get bought out by CBS instead of Paramount, because essentially Paramount is different than CBS because of, they love to wiggle their way around some laws. So, new life gets breathed into the channel. It's really exciting. Shows in the 2001 forward era of UPN. America's Next Top Model, the iconic reality TV competition show run by 90s supermodel Tyra Banks and my light skin enemy Kenya Burris. Fuck Kenya Burris. Again, you're never going to see me cover blackish, grownish, youngish, whatever, oldish, pastish, light-skinned-ish. I don't care. I do not care to know that experience seen on TV. I've seen enough of it. So the show starts running on May 2003, and then semi-annually until 2012, where it changed to an annual run until 2015, when it was canceled, but then it was revived on VH1. It was the highest rated show on UPN and the CW. We'll get there. And I won't be covering it in this series, Bummerisha, but I do love it. And I do see her importance in teen pop culture. Obviously, Tyra Banks is not as beloved now as she was then because she can't keep her fucking mouth shut and she terrorized those people. It is obviously a well-known fact, if you know about the history of Drag Race, that the original, first 2-3 seasons were RuPaul trying to make parody shows of these kinds of, Project Runway, America's Next Top Model, Chopped, Great British Bake Off ass shows, and then slowly turning into its own parody of itself, less in a camp way and more in a self-serious way. What RuPaul is to drag, Tyra is to modeling. Tyra's worse because winning Next Top Model really does nothing for your career, but it, you do end up getting put in front of a whole bunch of people who are going to tell you they could do your job better, and then you can never have a normal life, and you'll always be the person you were when you were on that show, according to toxic fans of Drag Race. But that's my Drag Race. That's my little Drag Race side tangent. We'll get back into it. All of Us, airing September 2003 to May 2007, created by Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, a single dad making it work with his young son and new wife and ex-wife and all the friends and all the life around that. Veronica Mars, a noir mystery show starring beloved actress Kristen Bell. From September 2004 till May 2007. I will be covering it. She's a girl boss, and we stand. I'll also be covering the movie. Everybody hates Chris, and I personally hate Chris. Truly, that man has been a menace since he got slapped by Will Smith, and he deserved it. A sitcom that I saw personally mostly on Nick at Night was created for Fox but was passed over. It's a comedic memoir of Chris Rock launching Tyler James Williams, running from 2005 to 2006. He's so beloved. Go watch Abbott Elementary. He's great. That show's great. It is not going well for the UPN. It is truly not. So make your peace with God and let's fucking rock it. CBS era. Mid-2005, Viacom splits to protect its assets with CBS Corp and Viacom. UPN goes with CBS Corp with the split happens in December 2005, leaving 25 days. In December 2005, there's a letter letting everyone who works at the company know that in 25 days that there's going to be a WB UPN merging to create the CW. Only 6 UPN shows would make it over. America's Next Top Model, Veronica Mars, Everybody Hates Chris, Girlfriends, which I didn't cover. For some reason, it just wasn't in the list as I was going through. That's my bad. I should have double checked. All of Us, and as a surprise, WWE SmackDown. Let's cover Girlfriends very quickly. It's not a teen sitcom, so it won't be in this list, but it is beloved black culture. Girlfriends sitcom airing. Think Friends in Sex and the City, but better and blacker. Friends and Living Single, all that. Start airing from September 2000 until February 2008, running for 8 seasons. Black women living in the city, being friends, jobs, dating, marriage, living life in the modern age. It is also a part of the Brock Kill universe. The Girlfriends actually spin off into The Parkers, a sitcom on the UPN running from August 1999 to May 2004. A spin-off of Moesha following Kim Parker, played by the beloved Countess Vaughn. She's great. She's my idol. Thick as hell. And Monique. Sorry that's a weird transition. My camera's battery died. So Countess Vaughn and Monique had ran for 5 seasons, and I will be covering it. So that's it for the UPN. Literally, it was like running after the trend, trying its best, but it did not fully embrace the teen market until the 2000s with America's Next Top Model. They just never had enough steam to push over the hill, because you got the dynamite America's Next Top Model and you can't push that forward. It just was never gonna happen. Losing $800 million in your first 5 years, bestie, that's some cost. That's some cost, baby. So yeah, it's wild. Well, I'll see you not in the outskirt bands of a hurricane to cover the CW. I'll see you in I. CIII is really going to be a labor of love because it's where we get to again talk about my favorite thing, corporate mergers. I'm fun at parties. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Megan_Blush_. And I don't know what order any of these are coming out. Clickbook reviews will be coming out. Maybe I'll return to my secrets series. Maybe other things will be happening. Who knows? I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Yeah, I have an end card. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment what your favorite WB show is. Honestly, also comment what your favorite teen show is in general. If you think I've missed something, because obviously Wikipedia is an untrustworthy bitch, you can leave those also down below. I support you. It's called binge viewing. Go ahead. I support it. I have an end card. Bye.